welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing something fun and something I haven't done yet, and that is my September TBR. I filmed like a ton of these, but I haven't actually posted them, so I'm super excited to do this and then look back and see what I ended up accomplishing. So I am super excited for the month of September because it is more so like fall vibes. We're kind of transitioning into the spooky type books, at least for me, and not just spooky but also like fantasy, kind of more story-like books rather than the typical romance summer type reads that I've been doing. So I'm super excited to get into that, and so let's just grab a drink, sit down and talk about books because why not, and how fun is that? I have my liquid IV. I haven't really tried much liquid IV. This flavor is guava, or yeah, I think it's guava, and low-key kind of just tastes like Pedialyte. I think it's like the texture of it. I like it. It's more so for hydration because I'm a little miss dehydrated. So yeah, grab your drink and let's get into some books. Alright, the first book that I want to read in the month of September, I'm probably gonna finish like tomorrow. When you're saying this, I've probably already finished it, but that is Final Girls by Riley Sager. This one is a very popular book, I feel like, that's going around, at least like the author is at the moment, and I love a good thriller. So I thought, why not pick this up? Start the month off strong with a good thriller. And so yeah, this one is about a group of girls that have kind of gone through the same trauma, and they're in this like therapy type group, more like a support group type vibe, and one of them goes missing or one of them ends up dead, and so they kind of all relive their emotions, but I think it's like catered to one girl's like perspective and like what she went through. And so I'm super excited. I haven't really looked into it that much to really see what it's about, like, for sure, but I love going into books blind and kind of just enjoying the ride that it takes me on. And so yeah, that is the first book that we are reading. Then I'm going to be doing a reading vlog on this book solely alone because I have been dying to read this book, and I absolutely loved watching other people's vlogs on this and seeing their thoughts, and that is The Inheritance Games. And this one is a YA mystery, puzzle, suspense type book. It's been compared to Knives Out movie, which I absolutely loved that movie like to death. I wanted to watch it literally every single day. So I'm super excited to read this and have more of like a book form of that type movie. This is also a series, so I'm super excited that it's not just a standalone, because I feel like I just need so much of this book. And there's 3 books in this series, and thankfully all of them will be out in August. Yeah, that is my other book that I want to read. Absolutely, I'm just like so excited for this one. Then I'm gonna be doing a reading vlog, and it's gonna be reading only thrillers for a week. So for that, I chose The Troop by Nick Cutter. And Stephen King said that this one was a book he couldn't put down, and that it is old school horror at its best. So I am super excited about this one. I was flipping through the pages, and one thing I really liked about this, and just like books in general that do this, is they have kind of like question and answer form. So like if it was an interview or like a podcast or something that they put together, they put that in there. And then at the very beginning there's like a news article, and so I love when books do that. I feel like it just adds so much like character to it, and it kind of like gets you off of like just reading words all the time, and it's just in different format. I love it. This one is about a Boy Scout troop that goes to this island, and one of them, or there's something out there that like kills, I think, or something like that. I don't know. Like I said, I don't really read into them. I just saw the cover and low-key was very interested. It's spooky already, like the vibes of it, like, oh my goodness, like I'm already scared. So that is one that I picked up. Then I've had this one on my list for literally 5 years. Okay, not really 5 years, since like June. And every single TBR that I filmed, I have put this on there. Obviously I didn't upload those, but I have been wanting to read this one, and I thought, let's just knock it out in a vlog. And that is The Guest List. Absolutely am so excited about this one. I feel like the suspense will be like top notch. Then lastly, I have Then She Was Gone. I heard this one is kind of sad, but it's also a crime-based thriller or suspense mystery type book. It's about a mother who unfortunately lost her child, and she goes through this journey of trying to figure out what actually happened to her daughter, because a girl that kind of resembles her daughter ends up going missing. And so she's like, well, what happened to my daughter? And so I feel like these types of books really hurt my soul, because like sometimes they feel so real, and I feel so many things for like the parents or the family members that have to go through this. But it's also like, who was it, who did it, like the suspense is there. So I'm super excited about this one. Then I am doing a 72 hours without my phone challenge. And during that time, like I don't have to read, I can just pick up a different hobby or whatever, but I thought it would be a good challenge to kind of see how much reading I could probably do without my phone. So instead of picking up my phone, I pick up a book. That just sounded really grand to me. And so the books that I chose for that one was After I Do by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I just read One True Loves by her, and the way that she writes is beautiful. Like she just is so descriptive, and she uses like metaphors and stuff to really like show how the character is feeling, and I could just sense every emotion and feel every emotion, and I was rooting for this or that, and then I was rooting for that or this, and then it was just crazy, and I absolutely fell in love with the way that she writes. It's definitely different than some of the other authors that I've read, and I just absorbed every single thing from that book. So I thought that this one would be another really good book, because this one is about a marriage that is kind of going through some stuff, and so you kind of just go through that journey of how they end up resolving the issue or whatever's going on, if they end up together or not, or whatever happens. I again haven't really read too much about like the issue, or even if it talks about the issue in the back, but I just heard like the premise of it was really good, so I picked this one up. And then I have my first ever fantasy book, and this one got really good reviews, but I also mostly fell in love with the concept of this book, and I talked about it in my book haul video, and that is 3 Dark Crowns. And I picked this one up thinking that it was a standalone book, but no, there's 4 other books in this trilogy, and that is just that is insane to me. Never have I ever picked up a series and have that many books. So this one is about 3 babies that were separated at birth, and then they were also put into separate like societies or cities or whatever, and they've grown up knowing that they're gonna have to fight each other. And they have like these abilities or superpowers or whatever, like they each have a different one, and I just feel like that is gonna be a wild ride. And there's 4 other books that go into this, so I cannot imagine. I absolutely love this idea, and that is a trilogy. Trilogy is 3. I think I'm saying it wrong. It's a series. Let's just say series. And I feel like that's gonna be perfect for going into fall. And so I'm just so excited. And then those are the other books that are part of this series. And then also in that reading vlog, I'm gonna do better than the movies, because I absolutely, for one, love Lynn Painter. She wrote Mr. Wrong Number, and I absolutely fell in love with that book. Rom-com to its core type book, and I could just like relate to the character, not necessarily like really relate to her, but the things that she wrote about were like new age type stuff, like Adele, or types of movies that have come out that you can relate to, and I love that. I feel like a lot of the books that I've been reading, they don't really mention things like that, and it was kind of like a breath of fresh air, like something different. And so I just absolutely loved that she references stuff like that. And then Mr. Wrong Number was an adult type book, and this one is a YA. And so I just feel like it's gonna be so homey, so cute. I've heard nothing but good things about this. And then obviously Lynn Painter, love you. So I'm super excited for this one. Then the last week of September, I'm just gonna do a weekly reading vlog, and the two books that I chose for that, still going with that thriller vibe, is Gone Girl. I have never ever in my whole entire life seen the movie. I've never even heard of it, which is crazy because I grew up loving thrillers and horror movies and stuff like that, and I don't know why I've never come across this. I may have like seen clippets of it, but maybe I was just younger to where like I didn't pay attention, and so I don't really know what goes on. So I'm super excited about this one because everyone loves this book, and so I'm super excited to dive into this one and kind of see what I think and if it's all that it's cracked up to be. Also with that reading vlog, I am going to be reading a book that is the second book of this series, and that is Good Girl Bad Blood, and this one is going to be focusing more on Pip and Ravi. I think they have a podcast and they talk about, I think, how they ended up solving the first mystery in the first book, or just maybe other mysteries or whatever. Something in the town ends up popping up, and she's like, I don't want to do that, no, I can't do it anymore, I don't want to be involved, but turns out she ends up being involved. So I feel like this one's gonna be a really good one. I've heard that the second one is better, which is crazy because the first one was really good. But I think the only thing is the first one had so many characters, it was kind of hard to keep track of everything and everyone, whereas this one I think has a little bit less, and so it's easier to follow. And so I think people say that this one is a little bit better, as well as the third one. But I'm super excited to get onto the second one and finish the series. So that is what I'm gonna be reading in September. And then if I am feeling extremely ambitious, or I've read everything, or maybe I just need to mix it up and add a book or replace a book, I want to replace it or add Dance of Thieves. This is a fantasy romance, I think, book, and I'm super excited because, again, like I said, with the fall, I really want to get into fantasy type books. It just seems like the perfect time to read fantasy rather than all the summer romancy type books I've been reading. This one though is a chunker. It is 500 pages, but I've heard that it is like really good. You don't even realize that it's that much, and so I'm super excited for this one. It just looks really pretty, and I've been obsessed just with like the thought of this one. Also, don't know really what it's about, but hopefully we get to this one. But yeah, I think that is all the books that I want to read in September. If you have any recommendations for fantasy, or if you're like, hey girl, you love that author, I think you'll also like this one, let me know, because I would love to hear your recommendations. Or if you have other crime, thriller, mystery type books, let me know, because absolutely love those types of books. But yeah, those are all the books I'm gonna be reading this month, and I hope you guys have a great week or day or whatever. See you guys later.